Alright, g'day, hi, welcome. Okay, consider section 1 toiled. In other words, flipped over soil. Not as clean as I would like, but it's good. But what I can't get over, see for this guy here, don't like him in there. Worm, tons of flies now. Worm. Oh, I cut that one in half. Sorry, buddy. Worm now. Well, he's got 2 worms there. And worm. I gotta get my fishing license. Yeah, that was like every toil was tons of worms. So this is not as bad as I thought it was. All of these guys, worms. Hi, worms. Go away, flies. I don't know if you guys can see the flies too, but anyway, the point is, there's a lot of worms in here. That's good. So I've toiled a little. I did my toiling for today. I'll do it in sections. So guys, even if you can do a plot this big for yourself, even if you can't do, I'd rather do all those sections. Like, I mean, that's easy. This is work. But considering the times we live in, if you're unemployed anyway, or partially unemployed, due to the hard times, I will cover this up now. Maybe this is a good thing to do. Take a shovel, toil the soil. Basically, toiling is flipping the soil like you're a rototiller, a man-made rototiller with arms like that. Okay, anyway, so that's a good start. It goes pretty quick. Now, I already contacted the neighboring store. How did this thing get longer? This thing wasn't that. This didn't go up to there. Oh well, okay, whatever. Now just put this on in case it gets windy. The idea is to kill off everything underneath. I don't want to flatten it down too much. But when you toil the soil, it makes it, you can make a little rhyme there. It helps to keep it from making it easier to plant stuff in. So if you're on the most extreme budget, that's what you're going to do. If you can't get raised bed gardens, that's okay, because going in the ground was how people did it for thousands and thousands of years. So whether you're making a Victor garden, doomsday garden for just the sake of saying you had a garden, that's how you do it. You know, that's how you do it the old-fashioned way. But that is the harder way for sure. But that's well, my plants up there, I don't know if you can still see some of them. That's where they're going to be going, is all down there. Now, we went from 0 last night. It's like 20 degrees now. This is why everybody gets sick. And don't go out in their raised bed gardens. So this year is just about getting infrastructure in and working on raised bed gardens so I can make it a lot easier and quicker next year. But yeah, so that's the toiling of the soil. First part, I'm not going to do the whole length. It's about 30 feet there, so I'd like to get at least 20 feet of it, leave the last. But I was actually surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot more sparse underneath than what it was, so good for me, I guess. And is it going to rain again? I don't know. Like, I just don't know what to do today. It's like working in between the raindrops today, but that's good too. I mean, yeah, so the next phase is, once you've toiled your soil like that, is to put down, I don't have enough compost there. I'm going to save that for the planters. But what I will be doing is getting a whole bunch of topsoil in bags tomorrow. And what I'm going to do is very, very sparsely. The prices went up. They're no longer 3 bags for $5. It's now $3.99 a bag. Still not bad, but if you got 10 bags, it'd be about $40 of really premium good stuff. So I'm going to get the 3-in-1 mix. Oh my God, it's hot down here. I lit a fire today because it was so cold this morning, and it's just like a bed of coals in the furnace right now. So I got all the doors and windows open. It's like super, super, super hot in here. I'll get back in the light in a second, but take off my, I don't have rubber boots. I only have my winter boots, so my feet are roasted. So I got that much done today, so that's quite a bit. So the next phase is put down some topsoil, put down my cardboard, cut the holes in the cardboard, put my plants in, and you'll see how I'm transplanting them. How am I doing for time? Obviously I'm going to transplant these guys directly into the ground, and some of these guys, these are going to, I'm not sure what they are. I think they're either squashes. I know I got pumpkins, whatever, all that big stuff I want in the ground anyway, but we'll see what I get. Squashes, there's some definitely pumpkins over there. Squashes and pumpkins go together, and I got some herbs. I don't know if they'll come up, but I'll try them. Some of my seed packets were really old, so it's kind of hit and miss. I had a lot of seed failure this year due to the fact that most of my seeds were too old. So I got some beans, I got some corn there. Squash, pumpkins, I don't know. You'd think a man would, after a couple of years of doing this, would figure out the label stuff. You'd think, but it doesn't happen like that. It's not how it works. Got the puthgatti that I just had. That's another one. Maybe you should do the work before you eat the spaghetti, because as soon as you eat that one, like, you either make barely enough spaghetti for one or enough for 3,000 people. Guess which one I always end up doing. So the last things I'll say is, yeah, once you got your ground tillered like that in the poor man's way with the shovel, you can do this on any scale level. Then what you want to do so that you don't just get over infested by scotch grass and weeds is you're going to put down your topsoil or compost or whatever you got. If you're on a budget like me, you're going to put out whatever you got. I mean, I'm going to have less than $100 into this garden, or probably even less than $80 into this garden by the time I'm done. But I'm going to have a lot of stuff. I'll put down the topsoil. Then in selective areas, we're going to put it. Then I put down my cardboard so you know we don't get any weeds or anything. Cut the holes in the cardboards where you can put your little those little things. Then you can put either more topsoil on top of the cardboard, or you can just throw the hay on it, and hose it down a bit, throw the hay on it, and then the idea of the hay is to keep the moisture in, but also to keep the weeds from coming up, and then just add as you need. Yeah, there you go, and that's the whole process. You can make columns up like that if you want better drainage. It really depends on how you want to set it up, but that's pretty much the simplistic way to do it. That method has been used. There was a lady from either Russia or Hungary or Poland or someplace like that, or wherever she was from, or the UK. Might have been the UK, and it was her kind of above. They called it above ground gardening, and that's what she did. Rather than, I mean, back in the day, everybody did. You had the plow behind the horse, that type of thing, back in the 40s and stuff like that. And she came up with that method, and it was a lot easier. And then, of course, underneath the hay or the straw or whatever you put down to keep the weeds down, you just jam all your compost in there, and basically your composter is your garden. It doesn't get any better than that, and it just, you keep replenishing the soil. I was really stunned to find that many worms. Mind you, years and years ago, there was a pig pen there, but we've grown a lot of stuff there over the years, and then, some years we do it, some years we don't. And I figured the soil would have been depleted there, but I mean, it's not dark black soil, the best stuff, but it's a good start. It's not just dry sand in there, you know what I mean? It is quite sandy, it is quite clay, but over time, as I add stuff to it year after year, it will get better. But hopefully by that time, I'll have all my raised beds built and stuff like that. This year is about getting the infrastructure in for next year mainly, but also, we don't know. I mean, we have very uncertain times right now, and I don't want to get political on this channel, but we have uncertain times right now. So right now you could be out protesting if that's your thing, or you could be tillering the garden. I suggest you do that before you go to the protests. Just say, at the making of this video, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the goal with this, is just to, as I do it, I'll show you. There's nothing really fancy here. It's basically till it, put down, stuff to help it grow, put down stuff to keep the weeds from coming up, put your plants in, and then just keep adding to, whatever nutrients you need to keep adding to it. So it's basically the permaculture on a budget. So instead of having all fancy rain barrels and everything like that, what I'd like to have, but I don't have the money for, I'll pick those up as I find them, and usually find them for free. As I can build fancier stuff, I will, but the goal is just to get high yield in a low amount of area, and that's basically my goal, and we'll see what happens. I think the way I'm going to be doing it is probably going to work out pretty good. The more you know, the less you need. All right, anyway, I'll leave it at about that. And yeah, because I did find a lot of flies in there. Not only were there worms in there, which was good, but their little fly buddies were in there quite a bit. So I'll do the other 2 sections probably tomorrow, well, throughout the week anyway, as I put stuff in, and away I go. All right, there you go, guys. Have yourselves a great day.